Welcome to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking to my ball. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Good evening, Miami Dolphins fans, and I do mean good evening if you're watching live. We are broadcasting late. I am your host, Michael Leva, on this Wednesday, November 20th. Obviously, Big E, Ian Berger, isn't able to join us tonight. And filling in, someone I work with every week at 560 WQAM with Zach Krantz on the Dolphins Roundtable, Doug Lee Durong. Doug, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I appreciate the accommodation on my end, so
That's okay.
I'm doing good.
Yes, and I do want to give a shout out to Big E. I know I've said this a few times on social media. I'll say it each and every day. You're my buddy. You're my pal. I just saw you a few weeks ago when I was down there. Get well soon. We're all thinking about you. We're all praying for you. And really, we all hope you get well soon.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about here on today's show about the Dolphins. Doug was just in South Florida last week. We'll talk about that. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
The DolphinsTalk.com podcast network is sponsored by Caneswear. Caneswear is the place to go for officially licensed apparel for the Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, the Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, and all of the professional and college teams in South Florida. Looking for the latest jersey, a birthday gift, or the newest hat to hit the market of your favorite South Florida team? Check out Caneswear for their overwhelming selection of sports apparel. Located at 2655 South University Drive, Davie, Florida, Caneswear has it all. Not in South Florida? No worries. Visit Caneswear.com to shop their inventory from the comfort of your home, and they'll ship it to you. International fans, too. Caneswear.com is the spot that Miami fans shop. That's Caneswear.com, Caneswear.com.
All right. Now, before we start, a couple bits of information. Tomorrow on Thursday, I'm going to be on WEEI in Boston talking about Patriots Dolphins. So I'm not sure what time yet, and I'm not sure if it's going to be live or pre-recorded. They just reached out today, but I will try to share that to everyone who's listening. Also want to make an announcement. We got some new staff people here at the website. Tyler DeSena, he's a new writer, as well as George Keim, Nick Stella, Anthony Marshall, and Dorian Sims. Also, we got a new brand ambassador, Dolph Freaky. That's right, get freaky. Dolph Freaky. So be sure you're following her. She's going to be promoting some of our merchandise and stuff. And I want to say, thank you. We had some openings here in the past week, and I am very pleased with the people we have had. We had a lot of people reach out, wanting to be a part of this website and just be a part of what we do. It's been humbling and heartwarming. I can't thank everyone enough who's reached out. We've had some old friends who have stepped up and I've made some new friends. It's been awesome. So thank you, everyone who's reached out, who's wanted to be a part of this site here in the past week with some openings we've had pop up. And I just can't thank everyone enough. And I can't thank Doug here enough for filling in for Big E. And we got more announcements to come. We got more people coming. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now also, Doug, I don't know if you saw Sunday night, this website, this podcast, we're at war. Tom and myself, okay, you didn't see, I got to catch you up because this is going to happen on every show until the war ends. So Tom and myself go down to South Florida a few weeks ago. We rent a car. And we rent from, we rent from this company called Sixt Rental Car, SIXT. And no problem. We barely use the car. We stay at the Hard Rock. We gamble at the Hard Rock. We eat at the Hard Rock. We got to drive to the game, and we got to drive to an event on Saturday at Bow Campers. We barely use the car. We return the car Monday morning as we're getting ready to fly home, hand it in. There's a guy there, looks it over, no problems. That was 3 weeks ago. Sunday night, they send Tom an email. You owe us $800. The car is damaged. Wait, what? It took you 3 weeks to tell us the car is damaged. A car we barely used took you 3 weeks, right? Bullshit. You know why? The car wasn't damaged. We barely used it, and Tom looked it over twice before we take it back. We always do that. Common sense stuff. This car, and who knows how many times they've rented that car out since we returned it, one. And two, the first car they gave us when we landed was broken. They didn't even know it was broken. We had to exchange it. So 6 rental car. Here, if you're a Dolphins fan and you're flying down for a game in South Florida, use Enterprise, use Avis, use Hertz, use Alamo, use Thrifty, use Budget, use an Uber. Walk before you use 6 rental cars. Walk. They are the worst. And their North American CEO, that's right, I'm calling them out, Sebastian Burkle. Do better. Your company's a joke, and they operate in bad faith. You ain't getting a dime from us, I promise you. I had to get that off my chest because, like I said, Sunday night,
Ridiculous.
when I was with Tom, this is a war. We're going to go after them every show because we ain't paying them anything.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Jeez.
Okay, now let's finally get to the football. You were in South Florida last week for the Raiders game. How was your trip? Hopefully didn't have any rental car issues. How are your seats at the game? What was it like?
So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a one-day thing. I went down for training camp, so that kind of cut down how much time I could go for the game. Being that, you know, my wife is very graciously like, yeah, you can do both, but
very understanding. Yeah.
Let me help you and not be gone, so you have to deal with a crazy 3-year-old all by yourself. So I always take my dad with me. If you watch the live streams, I got my father with me, and I was like, let me spruce something up for him. Let me surprise him. So we rented a car, Enterprise. I'm never using
no issues, right? Use Enterprise.
And we got a Dodge Charger, and he loved it.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, because I have a truck up here, so like going from a truck to a Charger, way more control, and you know, the brakes and everything. So it was fun. The game was fun. For the most part, it was a little nerve-wracking. But then when we took off, like with the Jonnu Smith touchdown, and then seeing the offense, no punts and everything, it was just fun. It was a lot of fun. It was loud. I met a bunch of people. It was fun. It was just a really fun game. And then I flew back that night. Apparently, we lack air traffic controlmen, so there was a delay.
Oh
like
God,
they're understaffed, so it was like we were supposed to fly out at 8 and we didn't fly out till like 9:30, so I got home at like midnight.
And you were on the plane for the whole hour and a half?
Well, they boarded us. We were supposed to board at 7:15, 7:30. They boarded us at 9. And they were like, we're just going to board you. If you got to go to the bathroom, I'll go to the bathroom. We're going to board you. We're going to taxi you. And we're going to wait for 35 minutes until they give us the green light to take off. And I'm like, whatever. I can watch. You know, I had the game on my phone, the Sunday night game. I'm like, whatever. It don't matter. But then we got on the plane and he's like, no, they're giving us the green light. And we just like took off as soon as we were able to go. So it was pretty cool. It was nice to, you know, I don't mind doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. I usually land Saturday, leave Monday. But leaving after the game, I don't mind that at all, because all I do is go back to the hotel, sleep, and then leave.
Exactly. That's what we usually do after the game. We go back to the hotel. We'll do a show. We'll eat. And then it's like waiting till the morning to fly out. So if there are some late flights, we probably should look into that. Time on myself. It might make our trip a little easier, actually. It's just sometimes you don't know the games, because we've been to games that go to overtime or get delayed by weather. It's like, our flight, I don't want to leave if I don't hit. So that's the tricky part. But yeah, I totally get it. There. And I know you also went to Flanagan's, had some fun.
Oh yeah. The food at Flanagan's, the first time I went was for training camp. We went after training camp again. It was another day. I flew in, went to training camp, flew out. I had like 4 or 5 hours to blow, and I was like, I went to Caneswear. Shout out.
There you go, Caneswear, the best place to go.
And I went to Flanagan's. And when I first went to Flanagan's, I didn't know much. So I didn't know I could take the cup, and I didn't know about some of their food. So my drink, go-to drink is an Arnold Palmer. I love it. Refreshing. Non-alcoholic. I haven't drank in forever.
Half and half. I know.
And I got one of those. I got a cheesesteak, which was delicious, soft roll, everything so good. And then I told people that, and they were like, my wife was like, oh, those cups are so cool. I was like, I think we could take them. And me, my dad, and my friend, I could have had 3 of them. I didn't think about it, but yeah, that Saturday night I landed. I said to my dad, I'm like, let's go to Flanagan's. And we went to the one right by the Panthers Stadium.
Yep.
After they got beating them 5-0, so it was pretty packed.
Nice. Yeah, they are very good. I've only been there once, but I probably got to get back there next time I'm down there, for sure. This game, I know it's Wednesday night, so people have already spoken about that. I think it comes down to this: probably their best performance on offense all year, executed at a high level.
Yep.
Other side of the ball, Wasn't perfect, but
Yeah.
versus the Raiders, good enough. Good enough. Hope they improve this week versus the Patriots. But overall, not much to complain about with this game. And also a game that came out of it with no new injuries, which is like a first in like 20 years, maybe.
No, seriously. With the bright spot that I liked seeing, and this guy's name hasn't been brought up even when we were working with Zach earlier this week, is Benito Jones. He actually started.
He got benched, not the starter, and it might have lit a fire under his butt.
He's been playing good, yeah. And the defense, if the defense could have figured out, and it's hard because he's going to be really good, Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they rushed for like 60 yards all game. We shut them down, and we had 5 drives, 6 drives, all of them were points, 0 punts. Like, you really can't complain. Tua was playing out of his mind. He sacked twice. Crosby didn't get to him. Evading pressure, extending plays, making the throws. Keep playing like that, man. You never know. Me and you are very just like, we're not going to the playoffs, but hey,
if the Colts didn't have their schedule, I think we'd have a chance. That Colts schedule, you got Patriots, Giants, Jags, and Titans for the last 6. That is 4 cupcakes. I mean, that's the problem. And they own a tiebreaker over us, which hurts. If they didn't have that schedule, it's so easy. And I know a lot of people today on social media go, yeah, but the Colts are mid. Yeah, but we are kind of mid too. I mean, I can't, let's be honest. It's not like we're some, gangbusters. But, even if they lose to the Lions, even if they lose to the Broncos, problem is if you lose to the Broncos, that gives them an extra win.
Exactly.
So it's like their schedule, I think, makes it probably like they really have to collapse.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to just miss the playoffs, which is going to suck even more. Just bring the pain level even more. But that's why I don't think we're going to make it. But I do think we're going to make it interesting and have some games worth following here.
Which sucks because it and I say it every week. Every week I see Tua's stats. Every week I see how this offense is performing. Every week I see the points we score up. And I bring it up every time. And I probably should stop doing it because it's just a real gut punch. But if the man would have slid, I would put money on the fact we would have beat Seattle, Tennessee, and Indy. And we would be we'd be 7-3 right now, fighting potentially for the division, and also if the Bills kicker decided to not be the greatest kicker of all time and make a 61-yard field goal,
and maybe
we'd be 8-2.
And maybe he's not so rusty versus Arizona. He doesn't drop the snap. That's a safety. Maybe you'll hold on to win that game. Like
there's so
literally
much stuff.
There's a lot of what ifs, and I know a lot of teams can say, well, what if? And I get it. But really, when you're built around one person, I know every team can say, if we lose our quarterback. But in Miami, it's just different. It's like with a concussion. With so-and-so had a concussion, but it's different with Tua. I don't even know how to explain it. He had a concussion. His arms and hands didn't lock up. It's different. It's just different. So, and that goes on to our next topic. Chris Grier. I know on social media on Tuesday.
I started something.
Look, people can have any opinion they want. I honestly really don't care at the end of the day. I'm 47. You believe what you want. I don't care. But there does come a part of this where it's like, this is football. Things are based on wins and losses. We actually have results. That's why we got big giant scoreboards up in every stadium. We keep score. And Chris Grier is a general manager of the Dolphins. His record is 71-70. He went 1 game over 500 with his last win. He has no AFC East titles. This is a general manager. No playoff wins. Only a couple playoff appearances. And coming into this year with such high expectations, no matter what they do, we fell short.
Yep.
People still defend this guy. I don't get it. I'm not saying you got to rip him to no end.
Yeah.
But why do some people feel the need to defend everything this guy does? Don't you want to root for a winner at some point in your life? We're not winning anything with this guy. We are in NFL purgatory forever.
And the point I brought up too, and I rebutted to some of the people who were defending Grier, which I was like, I'm surprised there is that many adamant defenders. Because the tweet was essentially, I said, regardless of what happens at the end of the year, unless we win a playoff game and then get to the AFC Championship, he's got to go. It's 6 years. And like you said, we're stuck. We're just stuck in the stagnant part. And I've had rebuttals, very adamant rebuttals, which is very surprising to me.
That's crashing.
That oh, but he did good and this and that. Look at the team. And some
Where
of
has he done good?
right? Some of the people were like, you're ready to restart. Look at where we're at. And if he's gone, then that means McDaniel's gone. And I bring up the Detroit Lions. Look at where the Detroit Lions are right now. Do you think they got to where they are now by sticking with the status quo? They fired a head coach in Caldwell, I think it was, who had a winning record and got him to the playoffs. They fired him to find someone better. It's like teams drafting Patrick Mahomes when you have Alex Smith, drafting Lamar Jackson when you had Joe Flacco, getting rid of the Ravens' old head coach and get like the good teams know when to move on, even if that team is still doing well, because they can see what's coming down the road. It's like driving and seeing a cliff and being like, my car can make it.
Being proactive.
Yeah,
proactive.
I could jump this. No, man, you got to realize that it's been 6 years of this. If it was this 6 years, then why would we get rid of him? But it's just this. We'll make the playoffs, we'll lose. We'll go over 500, but we won't make the playoffs. Another 10-win season, we don't make the playoffs. Oh, we make the playoffs, we lose. It's like, aren't people tired of that? Aren't people tired of him?
We're 6 or 7 seeds who get blown out in the first round. Well, not all, but we lose in the first round every time. Sometimes it's a blowout, sometimes it's not. But it's like Stockholm syndrome. Like they've been brainwashed by this guy and this. It's really by the whole organization in reality of like, no, everything. Chris Grier's cooking. He restructured the contract. Calm down. No, he restructured the contract. His fan base wants to throw flowers at his feet. Dude, 10 other GMs restructured the contract. Stay tuned, open space. Don't give him credit for doing his job. It's like people give him credit for like nothing. It's like, and I'm not one to go through every pick in the draft, say that's a good one. That's a bit, because every GM has misses. And that's 100%. Almost not fair. I mean, what I did 1 month ago or so on the show was I went through every pick he's made since he's been GM, and how many of those guys got a second contract in Miami? And the list is small. Xavier Howard, Jerome Baker, Andrew Van Ginkel technically was 1 year. He played great, and then we didn't re-sign him. So I don't count that one. Tua and Austin Jackson, like Jason Sanders, who gives a shit? Honestly, he's a kicker. But like when you look at the Wilkins and the Hunt and the Raekwon, the guy Jones at safety, the guys who are, you draft them, you develop them, they become starters or key guys and backups, and they're only here for the rookie contracts. That's not how you win in this league. I know there's a salary cap, you can't keep everybody, but you got to keep more past the rookie contract.
Be proactive.
And you got to be proactive and sign them before they price themselves out of Miami, and that's the problem. Yeah,
100%. And it's, the way I see it is people think that we're right there. We're right there. If he can add the right pieces here, we're right there. It's like constantly playing the lottery. And instead of getting 5 numbers, you get 2. And you're like, I'm going to play again. And you get 3. I'm going to play again, up back down to 2. Oh, but if I play again, I could get the 4th. It's like, it's time to move on. This man has had
new vision
so long. Like, just Omar Kelly said it perfectly. The way to fix this team and our problems we've had for the past 24 years is we need fresh eyes. And that's not from within. And there is rumors that if Grier's gone, Brandon Shore might be the next one up. We don't need that. We need some fresh eyes. And will they do it? I don't know. Because if they
I don't think
end
they
with
will.
a winning record and make the playoffs, he probably is not getting fired.
You've heard me say it a few times on 560. Sometimes you got to open the window and let the stink out. And not that, and I don't say that to be mean to Chris Grier, that he totally stinks. There are far worse general managers than him, but there's also many who are far better. That's the problem. And sometimes, he's been with the Dolphins for 20-something years. Not all as a GM, so I don't care what he did as a scout or like a personnel director. That's not fair. But from his time as GM, even if you want to go from 2019 and not count the first handful, it's fine. It's still not good enough. And some people say it's the most talented team we've had since Don Shula. Yeah, and what have we won? We haven't won anything with it. It's like the goal is to win. He's 71-70 as a general manager. It's time to win. And, I mean, I don't think they're going to let him go. I mean, even if they lost them all from here on out, I don't think they're going to let him go. I think they're going to just fall back on, well, Tua got hurt. Yeah, it's your job to say, it's his job to say, what if?
Yeah.
What if Tua gets hurt? Plan B. Your plan B sucked. What if Armstead gets hurt? What's your plan B? Okay, he's got Lamb. He's got Patrick Paul. You thought about that one at least. But he doesn't do the what-if game enough. And again, I know there's a salary cap, but other teams, seem to navigate this much better than Miami does.
And he did the what if in some areas that hit, like Aaron Brewer, like he hit on that. I can come and say I was definitely wrong on that. I was very iffy about Aaron Brewer, but now when we sit back and look at it, made the right move there. Connor Williams ends up retiring. Fantastic move. But like you said, it's like they had no fallback plan for Tua. And is it that situation where they don't, because a lot of people say, oh, they don't want to hurt Tua's feelings or this and that. I don't think Tua cares.
Grow up.
I think
exactly.
there is a possibility Grier cares. I don't want to ruffle his feathers. And it might be a situation where we did it for 3 years with Brian Flores and Deshaun Watson. Let's leave him alone. But that's not how you win football games. Like, you had the option of Joe Flacco. The fact that they didn't get Joe Flacco was just mind-boggling. Gardner Minshew would have done fantastic in those 3-4 games. Like, it's the fact that they sat back and said to themselves, we have seen Skylar Thompson for 3 years. He'll be a good backup. What,
Mike White.
Do you have eyes?
Well, here's the thing. Even if they had the thought, Mike White is fine, Skylar's fine, did they go to training camp practices? Because everyone who was there, whether fans like you or people who like report on the team, or even people I sort of talk to off the record, like, these two guys stink. And then you watch the preseason games and people go, well, they're playing with backups. Yeah, but they still stink. I mean, Look, there was no way to polish that turd. The month of August, those two guys were abysmal.
Yep.
And it's like, even at that point, they should have made a move. And then they're like, well, maybe Huntley, he's on waivers. They don't put a claim in. Okay, then you lose two. Let's put a claim in and play him over White. Then why do we keep White? Why do we sign Tim Boyle? If you wanted Huntley to begin with, just like some of this stuff, you can't circle that square. It makes no sense. And people defend this stuff. And I'm like, what are you defending?
Mm-hmm.
Like, common sense. It just drives me batty sometimes. But Dolphins fans, man, don't be brainwashed by a losing organization and a losing GM. You can demand better. You pay good money to either get the Sunday ticket or fly down to games or buy season tickets. Demand better. Demand better. Oh, someone likes my shirt. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get to some news. Mike McDaniel said today at his press conference he is pessimistic about Kendall Fuller playing this week. If he can't, save him because we got a short week coming up, so don't risk anything. You need him versus Green Bay. I hope we can beat the Patriots without Kendall Fuller. So don't risk anything.
Exactly. It's 2 concussions too. Like in
a short amount of time.
Yeah. But like 2 concussions in the span of 4 weeks.
And the fact they didn't put him on IR, I found a little interesting. I thought they would actually. They didn't.
He's not too.
So I'm thinking the Packers game. Just taking a guess. Packers game is when you might see him again. Bradley Chubb will not practice this week. Again, I don't know if he's going to return this year, but for that, I might think after the Packers game,
yes,
we're going to have a little bit of an extended week. Maybe they open the window next week, practices, maybe comes back after the Packers game. Just a guess there. Alec Ingold, they said it'll probably be a game time decision. They need him back for the running game, which I know you said the other day is true. Without him and without Austin Jackson, the running game has sort of suffered a little. So I think they need Alec back. Hopefully he can play Sunday. Last bit of news, congratulations to Richmond Webb.
Yeah.
Who's been named a modern era semifinalist in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Class of 2025. He's got to get in one of these years. I would like to see him. I would like to see him get in on the modern era list, because I think once he gets off there, because once you're on that list for so many years, then you fall off and you go to the Veterans Committee or seniors list. I forget the exact terminology. Like, he'll get in then because that's voted on by his peers. But the sports raters got to do the right thing here and get this guy in.
Yeah, he protected Dan Marino against some of the best pass rushers of that decade. Like, the fact that he's not in yet is just mind-boggling to me.
If you so I did this like a year or so back when Tony Baselli got in. You put Richmond Webb's numbers next to Tony Baselli. They're the same or better, and he played longer. And Tony Baselli was great, but that was a flame. That was a short flame. He played great for a short amount of time. Richmond Webb did it much longer. And if you're going to put in Tony, it's like the same thing with Zach. If you're going to put in this guy, then you got to put in Zach. If you're going to put in Tony Baselli, you got to put in Richmond Webb. And I remember I sent Pete Prisco a nasty tweet about that, because he actually votes and he writes for Jacksonville, or he used to. And I go, Pete, what are you doing? You got to put him in. He goes, well, I don't know. What do you mean, don't know? You're going to put Tony Baselli. Here, made a graphic even. I took 10 minutes out of my day to make a graphic. Starts, sacks allowed, Pro Bowls, all pros. It's like they're equal or better than every category. He's got to get in. All right. I want to give a shout out to everyone listening at finheaven.com. Everyone go to finheaven.com, largest Miami Dolphins message board on the internet. Also, a shout out to our friends at the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, please be sure you are a part of the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Podchaser, iHeartRadio, Audible, we're on all the stinking platforms. YouTube, obviously. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Going to have some new shows starting up as well to keep you occupied as well. Some more content coming via the audio route. All right. Oh, and also I gotta talk about. I know you want to try some of this. Zach wants to try some of this Mellow Seltzer. It's a THC. It's a THC Seltzer. It's the seltzer that's taking America by storm. Mellow Seltzer. It comes in. I'm turning it the wrong way. This one's wild berry. We got Doug's favorite here, the half and half lemonade
Palmer, baby.
and iced tea, the Arnold Palmer. We got, what's this one here? Grapefruit. We got grapefruit, and we got mango, strawberry mango. It's a mixture of madness, genius, and a pinch of chaos to bring you the best sips in the universe. With 5 milligrams of THC in this drink, Mellow is revolutionizing the way you unwind. Each sip is designed to gently lift your spirits and ground your senses. Go to mellowseltzer.com for information on how and where to purchase. All right, Doug, you get to play the game that Ian loves. He loves this game. We've been playing it for a few years because the Florida man stories. Look, there's crazy people where all of us live. You're in New Jersey. There's crazy people all across America. Florida's unique. They got the most. Yeah. And everyone knows about those Florida man stories. And there's a bunch of Florida man stories. So we are going to play the game that everyone loves. It's now time to play Two Truths and a Lie. All right, so I read 3 headlines, and Doug's going to have to guess which one is the lie out of the 3. So 2 of these are true. One of them is a lie. Okay. And you can play along in the chat. No Googling. We play for pride, not prize. Story number 1. Florida man robs 4 Subways because the Jarrett diet failed. Headline number 2. Florida man assaults mom with spaghetti sauce, hides in the bushes from the police. Story number 3. Florida man accused of jumping naked on neighbor's trampoline before breaking into home. So, Doug, here's how we usually do it. You got to think this out loud, share with the people your thoughts, which one, some reasonings why you might think which one's the lie, which one's true.
Oh, all of these could be true.
That's why the game is so challenging.
The one where he robs the Subways because the Jared diet didn't work is hilarious to me.
That's a great one.
Assaults with spaghetti sauce. And it's funny because you when you think assault with spaghetti sauce, you think like beat him with a jar. No, if you just throw spaghetti sauce at someone, that's assault, brother.
That is mom. Assaults mom with spaghetti sauce.
Jeez, so she had 2 kids. She had a kid with her.
Yeah. That's cold, man.
It probably was cold too. It's probably cold spaghetti
exactly.
sauce.
We got someone in our chat. Look at this one. Subway robbers, a total Patriots move.
And then naked on a trampoline and then breaks
before
into
robbing the house. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say, I'm probably going to pick the wrong one. I'm going to say the assault with spaghetti sauce is true. And I'm going to say the robs Subway is the lie. So naked on the trampoline, true. Spaghetti sauce, true. Subway, a lie.
Doug, for being your first time playing the game, you are 100% correct. Now, the Subway story is actually true. It just didn't happen in Florida. This happened in Alabama. Police are calling this a case of revenge. A man's failed journey to weight loss could be to blame for a string of Subway restaurant robberies in Alabama. Police say the suspect apparently got his hopes up after seeing. So this is a little bit of an older story. It's not real recent. He stated to the police detective that he attempted the Jared diet and it didn't work for him. He felt like he should get his money back. So he broke into 4 Subway restaurants in Alabama and robbed them all. So that was the lie. Now the spaghetti sauce one, that one just happened in August in St. Petersburg, Florida. Wow. Anthony Fiacco, 41, was arrested by St. Petersburg police on charges of battery and resisting an officer without violence on a Sunday sauce. Shortly before 8 p.m., they're eating late. Officers are called to a St. Petersburg home on Wahoo Drive. What a great name for a street. After an argument turned physical where Fiacco doused his mother with spaghetti sauce, which was found in her hair.
Oh my God.
Fiacco initially ran from the scene, but later returned to the home and was found hiding in the backyard bushes. And an officer yelled to him, "Police, show me your hands." And Fiacco tried to run off again. And from the picture in the mugshot, this guy's not running anywhere except to a buffet. He was easily caught. So that one's
God.
true. And which is totally true. And then the Florida man, this one happened in 2021. Florida man accused of jumping naked on a trampoline. Where was this one? And this was in Lee Acres, Florida. Adrian Lee Gonzalez Bradway. He's got 4 names.
Oh,
never trust a guy with more than 2 names. First name, last name. Once you put in a hyphen, there's always trouble. He was only 21, was arrested on burglary and criminal mischief with property damage of more than $200, according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office. So that one's true as well. The resident, this was caught on like a camera outside the house. So congratulations, Doug. You win.
I did not think I was going to get any of those. I thought, but I got them all.
It's a tough game. Okay, we should talk some more football now. Dolphins Patriots this week. Let me go through some numbers real quick here. Total offense, Patriots ranked 30, Miami still 27th. Passing offense, Patriots dead last, 32, Miami 24. Rushing offense, New England 21st, Miami 11th. Scoring offense, Patriots 30, Miami 27th. Defense, it gets real ugly for the Patriots. Total defense, Patriots 20, Miami 9. Passing defense, Patriots 20, Miami 10. Rushing defense, Patriots 20, Miami 10. Scoring defense, Patriots 18, Miami 15. Again, the Patriots offense is like last in a lot of categories, or almost last. We know Miami's numbers are low, but why we know they're low? The last time these two teams played, it was brutal. We know why it was brutal for Miami. The offensive line for the Patriots, when it came to pass blocking, stunk up until the final drive. Jacoby Brissett couldn't do anything. The Patriots did run for like 9 yards of carry in that game. Hopefully Miami can wrap up and tackle better in this game. And it really comes down to Drake May. That's the big difference here. But the Raiders had Brock Bowers, Doug. The Patriots don't even got that.
The thing that scares me the most is just Drake May. It's his legs. We have horrible ability to stop running quarterbacks, and that's the reason why we got to Stafford 4 times, because he's not a mobile quarterback, and we were able to, send pressure up the middle and get some sacks on him. That's the only thing that worries me about Drake May, because if we could get pressure on him and make him start to run or pull the ball down when he doesn't want to, like you said, this is a perfect game for Fuller, to get better for the Thanksgiving game, because, you put Ramsey on the number 1, and then you just have our young guys cover the next 2. But Kohu needs to tackle better in the open field, because geez Louise, that man.
Yeah, that's rough watching. If there's no Kendall Fuller, Cam Smith was hardly on the field last week. Hopefully he can get on the field a little more, because that pick in round 2, again, Chris Grier, not one of your finer moments. It's not starting off great. And that's 2 different coordinators. So everyone who wanted to blame Vic, it ain't Vic this year. It's another coordinator not playing him. And I know he was injured, but at some point you gotta perform here.
Yeah.
And if he's getting outplayed by Storm Duck, again, great for Storm Duck, not a knock on him, but come on, dude. One's undrafted, one went in round 2. That's not good. So there's that. And on offense, I think just keep doing what you're doing. It should work, because the Patriots aren't very good. The few quality players they had on that side of the ball, they traded or they've moved on from. I mean, it just is what it is. So you would like to think this is a ho-hum victory for the Dolphins this week.
Like
to think.
Whiteout, just take care of business. These are the games that we shouldn't look back like we are with the Titans and the Colts and Seattle. These are games that we shouldn't look back and go, oh, if we would adjust. Maybe we're the opposite of where we were the past 2 years, and maybe we start off slow and we end hot. These are the games you win. This game, and I know Cleveland's in Cleveland, and it's going to be cold, but they're not a good football team. The Jets, they're not a good football team, even though they on paper are a good.
You're not even going to face Rodgers in those games. I don't think we're facing Rodgers.
Exactly.
I think we're going to be facing Tyrod Taylor.
Those are the games that we should be winning. It's the Texans, the Packers, the 49ers. Those are the games that if we win those 3 games, but we lose to the Patriots, we lose to the Jets once, and we lose to the Browns, I'm going to be pissed. Come on, how are you going to beat the better teams? And so take care of business. And these are the Patriots game is a game like the Raiders game. We should win by 14 or more. I think we're given 7 right now. We should win by 14 or more.
7's a low number. I'll probably bet that game. I mean, it's not really low, but I don't think the Patriots are going to score much. Not because we're great. I mean, May has rushed for 260 yards, got a touchdown. He's only thrown for 9 touchdowns, has 6 interceptions, but he's been sacked 17 times in 7 games. That's a lot. I want to see Sealer. I want to see Chop. I want to see Campbell in that backfield early and often, causing havoc. Because I think that's how you beat a young quarterback with a poor offensive line. You make a move. You don't let him get comfortable and just sort of get after him. And I think they should. And he's got nobody to throw to. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So just, don't stub your toe this week. And you did mention the whiteout. And I say this every year. And one of these years they're going to listen to me. Miami Dolphins. I love you guys. I've given you more money than I probably should have over the 47 years I've been born. Don't do whiteouts at 1 p.m. games. Do whiteouts at night.
Yeah.
Because whiteouts at night, dark sky, whole stadium white, looks awesome. When you're in Miami, you're not even in dreary Cleveland or Buffalo where there's no sun. When you're in Miami and the sun's out, the whiteout doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't. You got to have dark sky, whiteout. So you probably should have done it week 2 versus the Bills. Or do it in a prime time game. That's when you hold your whiteouts. 1 p.m. doesn't have the same effect. Just some free advice. All right. It's time for the predictions. So let me play the gimmick.
It's now time for Mike and Ian's Fearless Predictions.
Last week, Ian sent in a pick. He was right. He got it right. So he wasn't able to send one in this week for obvious reasons. So I don't have Ian's pick. But Patriots at Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium, 1 p.m. on CBS. Yes, the game's at Hard Rock. Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta on the call. Oh, the Patriots. This fall from grace has been ugly for them, Doug. They have fallen faster than P. Diddy's career. Gronk, Brady, Bill Belichick, Julian Edelman, all gone. Now it's Drake May, Keon White, Kendrick Bourne, and Austin Hooper. Good God. Robert Kraft used to love watching his Patriots play every Sunday. Now, the only thing that excites him on Sundays are early morning massage parlor hand jobs. Robert Kraft is 83 years old, and he recently got married to his new wife of 50, a 33-year-old age gap. Bill Belichick heard that and said, hold my beer. Oh, I can't speak tonight. Hold my beer. Bill Belichick is 72, and he is dating a 23-year-old. 23. I'm not saying Bill's young girlfriend is a gold digger who doesn't like or who doesn't understand football on Sundays when they watch the game together. But when Bill yells at the TV, got to hit the A-gap, she stands up and pulls down her pants. Good God, these 2 old men are being taken to the cleaners by some gold diggers. Doug, what makes more money, a drug dealer or a gold digger?
I don't know what.
A gold digger, because she can wash her crack and reuse it. Doug, what do you call a group of gold diggers on roller skates?
I don't know what.
A mobile sperm bank. Doug, what's the difference between... You know what? I'm going to skip that one. That's just fraud. I can't say the third one. It's really dirty. Did you know Bill Belichick already had 2 Super Bowl rings as a coordinator before his new girlfriend was born?
Oh, my God.
Just like Robert Kraft had 100 massage parlor hand jobs before his new wife was born. Let's talk about the Patriots, the current Patriots. Drake May. Drake May looks like he smells like hot dog water. Drake May's teeth are so yellow, the sun is jealous of him. And I would crack more jokes on the Patriots, but I don't even know half the players on his team, and they're not worth my time coming up with jokes. Drake May, I kind of know. Look, we didn't come this far just to come this far. Miami has to take care of business on Sunday versus a lousy Patriots team. I see Tua throwing for over 300 yards. I see Chop Robinson having not 1, but 2 sacks. And I think Jalen Waddle finally has a breakout game and has a 100-yard day. I think the Dolphins win big. As my voice cracks and cough. Miami, 37. New England, 10. Go Dolphins. And yes, I ripped this off from Lee Corso and put on the headgear. Doug, I know you probably want to save the prediction for your show, but you want to have some few words here on what you might think. Or if you want to share a prediction, go for it.
Yeah, this, like you said, this is definitely a game that they need to take care of business. The team's better. Like, this Dolphin team is better. Yes, they have Drake May. Yes, Drake May is a good up-and-coming quarterback. He will probably give us fits. I don't think we'll hold them scoreless. But I fully think that the Dolphins should win this one 28-14. And again, a situation where we can take a knee. Be nice to see another interception, some more turnovers from this defense, and get a W. And no punts. Let's not punt again. Let Bailey just.
Nobody needs to see Jake Bailey.
Nah, he'll just hold the ball, man. That's all he needs to do.
Just hold the ball, put it down, spin it, keep your finger straight. Boop. Good day, Jake. That's all we need to see from Jake Bailey. That's all we need. But yeah, it's late. I'm stumbling over my joke, which I usually don't do. But look, we're past midnight because Doug's keeping me up late. But no, thank you, Doug, for sitting in on the show, filling in for Biggie. Biggie, just get better. Don't worry about the podcast. I'll hold it down until you get better. Next week, we'll see who I have on next week as a fill-in co-host. Follow Dougly Do Wrong on Twitter at Dougly Do Wrong. Check out his YouTube channel, which most of you probably already know about. Dougly Do Wrong on YouTube. And also listen to Doug, me, and Zach Krantz every week on the Dolphins Roundtable on the WQAM YouTube channel. We have a lot of fun there. And Doug's coming down to Miami next year, the weeks I'm down there with Tom. You got to go out to the family dinner with Zach, and Ian will be there, and who knows who else. Maybe we'll get Allie there this year. We'll get some people, and that's a fun night. We had a lot of fun this past year. So we'll have to make sure we set that up as more people put in prayers for Big E. Yes. Jalen Phillips sent something in. I don't know if you saw that.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's really, really cool. All right. Everyone, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social media at Dolphins Talk. I'm not going to list them anymore. There's too many of them. And so if it's just social media, I'm at Dolphins Talk pretty much except for like one outlet. I think I'm on all of them. And check out the website, DolphinsTalk.com. We'll talk to you again after a while. And folks, don't forget, we must put an end to highway profanity.